Coming up, the cost of back to school is going up. We'll hear how it's affecting local parents. And the Pittsburgh School District announces COVID-19 protocols as kids gear up to head back. Also, Columbus, Kansas voters approve a school bond, reaction from officials, and what it means for the district.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Tanya Bach. We've got a cloudy day ahead with cooler temps and a chance of rain before temps reach the 90s again tomorrow. Oh, I don't know if I'm looking forward to that. Let's go straight to Michael and take a look at that.
Yeah, heat waves are coming back, but we got one more day where we're going to be in the 80s before it does arrive. And really tomorrow's not going to be too bad. It'll be seasonable. It's more so the weekend that we'll be eyeballing as far as the hottest temperatures. Current conditions over 7th and Rangeline in Joplin sits at 69 degrees. Humidity certainly not too bad, only 87%, like that this early in the morning. As we look at our current temps around the 4 states, considerably warmer than what we've had the past couple of days. As Chanute's already logging in at 70, Neosho and Miami at 68, Nevada and Lamar at 67. Skywatch storm tracker with that cloud cover that Tanya was talking about. It's just a little bit dark out there and not going to be a whole lot of sunshine even when it does hit about 624. Rain staying at the upper plains there through Iowa and just barely clipping northern Missouri as the jet stream almost split right now with what's trying to develop as one of those cut-off lows. When you see that circle out to the west coast right there that kind of stays to itself. For our weather trend today, we're going to be up into the low to mid 80s once again, so similar in nature. And as far as that rain goes, it's not going to be widespread nor anything significant. It just kind of lingers there for the afternoon and evening hours, and then it's out by Friday. Friday, kick into the, we'll see some 90s on Friday for certain. And then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97.
It's back.
Good.
Hey, enjoy it while it lasts.
Trend that goes about like yay. Is that do I get credit for that saying? About like yay?
About like, that's something you made up.
That's not made up. Made up is when you're LeVar Ball and you go, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to Chris Como, and Chris Como goes, that is not a real song. About like yay, my grandfather used to say that.
Really?
We wanted to show you something.
Well, maybe that's just a maybe that's just a
like Grandpa.
Hayslippism.
Grandpa, how big was that fish? About like yay.
Oh, about year big.
Yeah, that's a West Kansas thing right there.
It's not yay, it's year, like
Yeah.
Y-E-R. I see where you're going with that though.
Jetmore. That's Jetmore's finest.
Yay would just be Hayslippism.
Yay.
Passed down through the generations. I see.
Pretty much.
All right, thanks, Michael. Well, kids are heading back to school, and a new survey shows that parents are spending more. A new KPMG survey indicates parents will spend around $270 per child this year when it comes to school-related costs, and that's a $20 increase from 2020. Last night in Galena, Kansas, hundreds of parents saved money on school supplies when they stopped by the First Baptist Church of Galena and picked up backpacks filled with back-to-school essentials. The church was able to raise money for 320 fully stocked backpacks that were handed out to families from all over the 4-state area. Organizers say the event is in its 3rd year and is even more popular in 2021 with school costs on the rise.
It would cost me anywhere from $65 to $100 per student, and it's even more expensive today than it was when my kids were in school. So, it feels good to be able to lighten the burden on the parents today, especially during this pandemic.
Especially with Corona and everything, it helps. It helps in different ways, but yeah, for like paying bills and stuff.
Backpacks were given out to parents via a drive-through system because of the pandemic. Organizers say they're already preparing for next year when they hope to give out at least 500 backpacks. Pittsburgh school district officials unveiled their reopening plan. Pittsburgh schools will start the year with COVID-19 restrictions in place and will require all students, staff, and visitors to wear masks. With the Delta variant of COVID spreading in the area, one Pittsburgh parent says she believes the policy is a move in the right direction.
I feel more at peace about sending my kids to school now. I still have some concerns, but this is a step in the right direction with reopening school for face-to-face learning.
These new restrictions are set to continue until at least October 1st. The school board says they will remain in constant communication with the Crawford County Health Department for guidance on restrictions. The Chanute, Kansas Public School District also releases its plans for dealing with COVID during the coming school year. For starters, the district says masks covering the mouth and nose will be worn at all times by students and staff in any school building. Visitors will not be allowed to participate in lunch. Temperature checks will be required for students and staff as they enter school buildings, and the district will have alternative learning for quarantined students. Voters in Columbus, Kansas Tuesday passed a more than $14 million school bond. That money will go towards renovating Columbus High School, adding 4 new classrooms and adding safe rooms to the high school and Central Junior High. The Columbus superintendent says when the work is complete, the high school will be a campus for 7th through 12th grades. Highland Elementary will close, and the Central campus will be for 2nd through 6th grades.
The difference is that Central will have to do the construction while the students are all actually on campus. But what we'll do, we'll be able to do it in phases because the way it's designed, it's almost 3 separate buildings that are attached with hallways.
Work on the high school is expected to be completed by the beginning of the 2022 to 2023 school year, and work at Central should finish by the start of the 2023 to 24 school year. U.S. Congressman from Missouri Billy Long is vying for a new position. Long, who represents Southwest Missouri, announced he is running for U.S. Senate. The congressman joins a growing list of Republican candidates, including former Governor Eric Greitens and Mark McCloskey, the St. Louis lawyer who pled guilty to waving a gun at protesters last year. They're all looking to fill Senator Roy Blunt's seat. He announced earlier this year he will not seek re-election. A local service dog organization is hosting a poker run fundraiser. The Sabre Life Foundation was founded by the family of a girl from Pineville, Missouri, who has a debilitating condition and needed a service dog. The foundation helps cover some of the cost of getting a service dog, which can run more than $18,000. So they're raising money through the Pipes for Pups Poker Run, which will run 150 miles through Arkansas and Missouri.
Started with our daughter that she needed a service dog, and so we started fundraising for her at local events in our community selling dog treats. And so once we were meeting so many people that needed a service dog, knew somebody that needed one or had one, we decided at that point that we wanted to pay it forward once we got our daughter's service dog paid for.
The poker run will be on Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon. There will be prizes including a raffle for a new Harley-Davidson motorcycle. It's 5:07.
626 is what we'll call sunrise on this Thursday morning. Temperatures going to be below normal. We'll hang in the low 8. We'll see a couple mid 80s in there, but mostly cloudy skies. And the wind kind of variably shifting back from the south to the west. Overnight, gradually clearing out, and that begins the warming trend that takes us all the way up into the mid 90s by the weekend.
All right, and that's a look at this morning's top stories in weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, new cases.
COVID-19 cases are surging, and officials say the situation is only getting worse. I'm Bradley Blackburn with details on new vaccine mandates that will start soon.
Plus, a former Coffeyville Community College sprinter wins gold at the Olympics. And remote work increases 1,000% in 2021, making Americans prefer working from home. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Cool.
American Legion baseball team still alive in the postseason as Post 64 was in Hastings, Nebraska, playing in the Mid-South Regional Tournament. Pittsburgh made it by winning a state championship last weekend. Then their opener yesterday, Post 64 falls to Oak Grove, Missouri, 9-4. Going to be right back on the field. Have an elimination game this morning. First pitch, 10 a.m. In the majors, Royals tried to snap a 4-game skid against the White Sox last night. Whit Merrifield scores Nicky Lopez with an RBI single. KC up 3-0 as they would only give up 1 hit through the first 5 innings. In the 6th, Salvador Perez, man on, get up, get out. 2-run home run makes it 5-0, and the Royals not done. Michael Taylor Where's that foul pole? Let's go hunting. Let's go hunting and find it. There's that foul pole. Kansas City gets the offense going and it stays on top to win this thing 9-1. No such luck for the St. Louis Cardinals, who are in action up against the Atlanta Braves, trying to even up that series. Back and forth affair, but the Braves would tack on the final 3 runs of the game and win this thing. Final score 7-4. A former Southeast Kansas track standout wins gold at the Tokyo Olympics. It's former Coffeyville Community College sprinter Andre Degrasse, who won the men's 200-meter race for Canada. Canada's first gold medal in the men's 200 since 1928. Degrasse ran it in 19.62 seconds. That sets a new Team Canada record. He competed in Coffeyville in 2013 and 14 before transferring to USC. It's his second medal in this year's Olympic Games. Chiefs in full pads for the second day at training camp in St. Joe. After leaving practice early Tuesday, wide receiver Tyreek Hill was held out of practice yesterday, dealing with tendonitis in a knee. In other injury news, linebacker Willie Gay and defensive end Alex Okafor left practice early yesterday morning. Now on the positive side, rookie tight end Noah Gray catching on quickly, according to fellow tight end Travis Kelce. Here's what Kelce had to say about Gray, who was the Chiefs' 5th-round pick.
He's going to help us this year, man. I can't wait till the world sees what that guy can do, man. He's doing an unbelievable job of just, learning this offense. There's so much you have to do in this offense as a tight end. Every rep you get, you learn something, and you can watch other guys and figure out, how you want to attack certain defenses with those reps. And I think he's doing a great job of just, going to work here in training camp and trying to become the best football player he can be.
He's a character. You think he's going to rock that stash all season long? I don't know about that one. Former Pittsburgh State wide receiver John Brown is entering his first season with the Las Vegas Raiders. The former Gorilla has been in the league now for 8 years, believe it or not. The Raiders are his 4th team. John Brown spoke to the media at training camp about joining a new wide receiver group and playing with quarterback Derek Carr.
He kind of, remind me of Carson Palmer, take that veteran role. And, he believe in his guys and he give his guys chances. So just to be around him, it's a blessing. It's an excited group. We got a bunch of guys that come in and they're ready to work. But the thing is, none of us have much of a big name. So it's all a point to prove. We have to prove a point to everybody, and we got to come out and execute every day.
Now get this, John Brown has 4,700 yards, 31 touchdowns in his first 7 years in the NFL. Still to come on the KOAM Morning News, the southern border confronting a surge in migrants.
The debate over border security is intensifying as Republicans and Democrats disagree over how to stop the spread of COVID. I'm Madla Rivera in Washington with more on the battle heating up coming up.
And to check on our 7-day forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Touch past 5:17. Good time, though, for weather on the 7s. Bust open our daily almanac for this 5th of August, where record high dates back to 2011, got up to 107 degrees. That average high of 91. We got a couple more days before we get there, and more mild temperatures as we take a live look over 7th and Rangeline, currently sitting at 69 degrees. That wind going to shift back and forth from the south to the west, then back to the south, but it is feeding us some warmer temperatures. Past couple of days, we've been talking about some 59s up there pre-sunrise. Well, now we've already got a 70 in Chanute, 68 in Neosho and Miami. Let's go 67 in both Nevada and Lamar. Got some heavier cloud cover, and that is the result of, that's why we've got the warmer temperatures, because that cloud rolled in, just trapped everything that we had from yesterday. Yesterday wasn't too bad at all, but just keeps that heat from going anywhere. Nationally speaking, I guess that cutoff, trying to develop into a cutoff low right there. It's that circular motion I was talking about. And then we got a big split, as we've got another one riding the East Coast right there, giving them some pretty good morning thunderstorm activity. But I mean, for the most part, minus what we got right there through central Iowa, things are remaining pretty quiet. And severe thunderstorm risk map, not a whole lot of expansion of even in the marginal area from what we've had past couple of days. Our weather trend going to put us up into the low to mid 80s later on as far as what we've got on Future Track. A little increased shot for rain today. Say go from about noon to 6 is what we'll be looking at. Like I said yesterday, just throw the umbrella in there. That way you got it. It's not organized and rather scattered, so not going to stick around for too long. Then we can talk about our heat wave here as we progress toward the weekend and we're back up into the mid-90s. Time now to turn our attention to the KOAM News Now Facebook page and our morning Insta poll as the coronavirus pandemic paved the way for remote work opportunities. Americans who have grown to prefer working from home, well, maybe in luck as remote work opportunities have increased 1,000% in 2021 alone. They told us 2021 was going to be better, huh? Oh, still waiting on that one. It grew from just 7,000 listings in March of 2020 to more than 80,000 right now. Career search website Ladders Inc. says industries that added the most remote opportunities include marketing, media, design, program management, accounting, finance, human resources. How many more do I need to list off? Everybody's doing it. All right, our question to you, where do you prefer to work from? Log on to our Insta poll, KOAMnewsnow.com/vote, or connect to us through the Facebook page. We'll be back with Healthwatch next.
Topping Healthwatch this morning, the White House says vaccines are the only way out of the pandemic, and it might require foreign visitors to prove they've been vaccinated before they can enter the U.S. Bradley Blackburn is in New York City with the latest updates on the pandemic.
The coronavirus's summer surge continues to grow. The U.S. is now approaching 100,000 new cases a day. A month ago, that number was below 15,000.
The virus in our community is spreading rapidly. It's spreading everywhere. It is spreading very intensely.
Some experts believe the situation is about to get worse.
This virus is so extremely contagious, your chances of getting through this without having become either vaccinated or infected is essentially zero.
Most new cases involve the Delta variant, and most hospitalizations now involve unvaccinated people.
It's just keep increasing, and you thought we would have been okay last week, and this week is even higher.
So far, only half the U.S. population is fully vaccinated. CBS News has learned that the Pentagon will soon require active duty troops to be immunized. The White House is planning to require nearly all foreign visitors to be vaccinated before they can enter the country.
We cannot get out of it unless the whole world gets out of it together.
As some countries begin offering booster shots, the World Health Organization has called for a moratorium on the additional doses, saying most of the world has yet to receive even a single vaccine. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
WHO's Director General wants countries to hold off on boosters until the end of September in hopes that by then at least 10% of the population of every country is vaccinated. Boosters are underway in Israel and Russia and may soon start in some European countries. Treating moderately ill COVID patients with full-dose blood thinners reduces the need for a ventilator and increases their chances of leaving the hospital. That's according to a large international study in the New England Journal of Medicine. But researchers found the same treatment did not have the same effect on critically ill COVID patients. And a new study finds people with diabetes are significantly more likely to be hospitalized because of an infection and are at greater risk of dying from infections. Researchers at Johns Hopkins says the increased risk was observed for nearly every type of infection, but especially among foot infections. A comprehensive review of hospital records shows children of heavy alcohol drinkers are at risk for significant harm. Researchers in Denmark say the adverse outcomes include mental health disorders and an increased risk of hospitalization for physical illness and injury. A new study says Americans are getting less iron in their diets, and they cite two major factors for it. Scientist at Biomedical Research of New Jersey says rates of iron deficiency anemia are on the rise in America. Scientists tracked iron deficiency trends in 3 government databases from 1999 to 2018. Iron intake dropped 6.6% in men and 9.5% in women. Iron intake is necessary for healthy red blood cell performance. They say farming changes for increased yield per acre is likely affecting less crop iron, and Americans are moving away from red meat with heme iron to other meat or non-meat sources. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Pretty mild temperatures for early August to the low to mid 80s. Mostly cloudy skies the reason that the sun's not going to be able to have a whole lot of effect on us. And the wind just kind of shifting from south to west, and then overnight back to the south. But once again, we're in the high to mid 60s right now. So we are getting warmer each and every night. Got a slight chance for some afternoon showers. I'd go ahead and throw the umbrella in the back of the vehicle. That way you've got it. And then we get ready for the impending heat wave as we go from 93 to 97. 1 degree each day there on the 7-day forecast.
Coming up, the cost of back to school is going up. We'll hear how it's affecting local parents. And the Pittsburgh School District announces COVID-19 protocols as kids gear up to head back. Also, Columbus, Kansas voters approve a school bond, reaction from officials, and what it means for the district.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Tanya Bach. We've got a cloudy day ahead with cooler temps and a chance of rain. So have that umbrella handy. Let's go straight to Michael with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, quiet over 7th and Rangeline right now, Tanya. And like you said, when sunrise does hit around 6:26, it's going to take a little bit for us to be able to lighten up the skies with the clouds that are hanging over us right now. 69 though in Joplin. It's very, very comfortable outside. We've even got a 70 on the board in Chanute, 67 in Pittsburgh, 68 in Miami, and 65 right now in Monette. There is the Skywatch storm tracker with the cloud cover. Remove the sweeping radar, give you an idea that no precipitation, just a little bit, but you got to push it even to the northeast of Kansas City to range that through Iowa to see what's going on. You'll notice the split arrows of the jet stream. It's called a cutoff low is what that's working on the left-hand side right there. It's when you get one of those big circles that just kind of stays to itself. And other side of it has thunderstorm activity for the East Coast. For us, we do have a chance for some raindrops this afternoon. Tanya's hit the nail on the head right there. Grab that umbrella before you leave. We'll go from about noon, say, to about 6 p.m. and nothing organized, nothing severe, and maybe even a nice little welcome relief here as we get mild temperatures for 2 consecutive days, because come Saturday and Sunday, we're going to heat right back up into the 90s.
Well,
We'll be a little bit reminiscent of the end of July.
our beginning of August was so nice.
I know, but we're by Sunday,
Wish it could've
Monday,
stretched
Tuesday, etc. We're going to be talking about, oh, hey, what's it feel like? Hey, there's a 110, there's a 112.
That's what I was about to ask. The end of July had insane humidity.
Humidity's coming back. It's coming back.
Okay. Get ready for it, folks.
We might do a breakdown about Gulf moisture. I had a great question about Gulf moisture the other day and why that plays such a role in our heat.
You know
Might do
what?
that.
I am thankful, though. My son had football camp, his very first tackle football camp this week that just started yesterday. He's getting 80-degree temperatures.
Football! 2 days! Break it down! Head on a swivel!
It's starting. He's only 8. Not
You're
too
my
late yet.
size. You don't play football in Texas, folks, but I could have been a heck of a coach.
There's a spot for everyone, Michael.
You're going to run till I get sick. No, coaches don't do that anymore. I know. Yeah. That was one of my coach's favorite sayings on the basketball court. You're going to run till I get sick.
Hey,
We'd be like, all right. My high school coach actually has ties to Chanute, Kansas.
that's
Long
cool.
story. I know. Who knew?
For another day.
I love you, Coach Cook. You know that. You know that.
All right, moving along. Thanks, Michael. Kids are heading back to school, and a new survey shows that parents are spending more. A new KPMG survey indicates parents will spend around $270 per child this year when it comes to school-related costs. That's a $20 increase from 2020. Last night in Galena, Kansas, hundreds of parents saved money on school supplies when they stopped by the First Baptist Church of Galena and picked up backpacks filled with back-to-school essentials. Church was able to raise money for 320 fully stocked backpacks that were handed out to families from all over the 4-state area. Organizers say the event is in its 3rd year and is even more popular in 2021 with school costs on the rise.
It would cost me anywhere from $65 to $100 per student. And, it's even more expensive today than it was when my kids were in school. So, it feels good to be able to lighten the burden on the parents today, especially during this pandemic.
Especially with Corona and everything, it helps. It helps in different ways, but yeah, for like paying bills and stuff.
Backpacks were given out to parents via drive-through system because of the pandemic. Organizers say they're already preparing for next year when they hope to give out at least 500 backpacks. Pittsburgh school district officials unveiled their reopening plan. Pittsburgh schools will start the year with COVID-19 restrictions in place and will require all students, staff, and visitors to wear masks. With the Delta variant of COVID spreading in the area, one Pittsburgh parent says she believes the policy is a move in the right direction.
I feel more at peace about sending my kids to school now. I still have some concerns, but this is a step in the right direction with reopening school for face-to-face learning.
These new restrictions are set to continue until at least October 1st. The school board says they will remain in constant communication with the Crawford County Health Department for guidance on restrictions. Voters in Columbus, Kansas Tuesday passed a more than $14 million school bond. That money will go towards renovating Columbus High School, adding 4 new classrooms and adding safe rooms to the high school and Central Junior High. The Columbus superintendent says when the work is complete, the high school will be a campus for 7th through 12th grades. Highland Elementary will close and the Central campus will be 2nd through 6th grades.
The difference is that Central will have to do the construction while the students are all actually on campus. But what we'll do, we'll be able to do it in phases because the way it's designed, it's almost 3 separate buildings that are attached with hallways.
Work on the high school is expected to be completed by the beginning of the 2022 to 23 school year, and work at Central should finish by the start of the 23 to 2024 school year. A mask mandate fight is brewing. This after Missouri's Attorney General sued Kansas City on Tuesday. The suit alleges the city's mask mandate is unconstitutional. Sharifa Jackson, has more.
Is not only dividing the city.
Absolute agreement with the mask mandate.
I would drive half an hour to not have to wear a mask.
But now the state, 7 counts in this 30-page lawsuit filed in Jackson County Circuit Court by Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt. According to the lawsuit, he says the latest mask mandate is unconstitutional and vague, and that Kansas City Mayor Quentin Lucas does not have the authority to authorize such a move.
We issued a mask order because we wanted to keep Kansas City safe. We issued a mask order because we started to hear from business, conventions, and conferences who said that they weren't comfortable coming to Kansas City in Missouri.
Most importantly, Lucas says it's guidance by the CDC, something he believes the AG is ignoring, especially when it comes to children. According to the lawsuit, the AG says the risk of severe illness to COVID-19 and transmission to school-aged children is low.
This is about getting clicks. This is about getting attention. It is not about saving lives.
Lucas adds the city has issued 10 orders without interference from the Attorney General, while the AG plans to push towards invalidating the mask mandate in Kansas City. Lucas says they'll fight this lawsuit, and he's positive they'll win.
That's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News, we take you inside the Angels Among Us Cafe and learn how they are earning money to help cancer patients. Plus, the governor of Texas fires back at a federal judge who blocked an executive order aimed at banning the transportation of migrants by anyone other than law enforcement. We'll have details, but first, it's 5:37.
Mid-80s, mostly cloudy skies today, a little southerly and then westerly breeze. It's going to shift back and forth, just 5 to 10 miles per hour. Overnight, gradually clearing skies. And then the warm-up begins as we hit high 80s on Friday, head into Saturday and Sunday in the 90s. Go ahead, put the umbrella in the back of the car. We'll get some scattered showers for this afternoon. We'll be back with World Watch next.
Help Pittsburgh.
Topping World Watch, the battle over border security is heating up. Law enforcement officers and health officials are at odds over what to do about the surge in migrants, particularly as COVID's Delta variant continues to spread. Madeline Rivera is in Washington with what lawmakers have to say about the growing debate.
The fact of the matter is, from January through July, approximately 1.3 million people have been apprehended coming into this country without documentation.
Law enforcement officials at the southern border confronting a surge in migrants not seen in more than 2 decades. In a new court filing, a Department of Homeland Security senior official says Customs and Border Protection likely encountered 210,000 people in July, the highest in 1 month since the year 2000.
We need the short-term solutions as well as the long-term solution to addressing this immigration.
Health officials are also struggling with a rise in COVID cases at the border, prompting Texas Governor Greg Abbott to issue an executive order allowing state troopers to stop cars suspected of carrying migrants. Abbott said it would help stop infections from spreading. A federal judge blocked the order on Tuesday, saying in part it could actually exacerbate the spread of the virus.
The election of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris was a super spreader.
The White House, however, is defending its COVID-19 response, slamming states that have banned mask or vaccine mandates. At least 9, including Texas, have rejected masking requirements. President Biden telling governors unwilling to impose mandates to get out of the way.
That's not meant to be partisan. It's not meant to be political. It's just meant to convey that more action is needed in some parts of the country.
The Biden administration will reportedly begin offering coronavirus vaccines to migrants in U.S. custody, as the Department of Homeland Security says it will continue to reassess its COVID-19 protocols. Wednesday was a national day of mourning in Lebanon as the nation marks 1 year since a deadly explosion in the capital of Beirut. The explosion taking place at a warehouse in Beirut's port, killing 214 people and injuring thousands more. In the wake of the tragedy, documents revealed nitrates that caused the explosion had been stored next to other flammable materials for years. An investigation into the explosion has yet to find anyone responsible. A train collision in the Czech Republic kills at least 2 people and injures more than 40. The crash occurred on Wednesday when a fast train from Munich collided with a commuter passenger train near the western Czech town of Domožíja. Regional fire and rescue crews remain at the scene, going through wreckage, looking for other victims. No word yet on what caused the crash. That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. Let's toss it over to Michael for our Something to Talk About.
Thank you, Tanya. This morning on the KOAM News Now Facebook page and our morning Insta poll, the coronavirus pandemic paving the way for more remote work opportunities. Americans who have grown to prefer working from home appear to be in luck as those remote opportunities have increased, get this, 1,000% in 2021. Grew from just 7,000 listings in March of last year to more than 80,000 now. That's according to career search website Ladders Incorporated. It says industries that added the most remote opportunities. I'll give you a laundry list here. Marketing, media and design, program management, accounting, finance, and human resources. Our question for you this morning, where do you prefer to work from? Right now we're split. We got 44% saying remote, 44% saying the office, only 12% say I'll take a little bit of both. You can make your voice heard each and every morning by going to KOAMnewsnow.com/vote or connecting with us via our KOAM News Now Facebook page. We'll be back with the news you need to know before you head out the door right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. The CDC warns of possibly more than 2 million new COVID-19 cases over the next month. It also says the Delta variant now accounts for 93% of all new U.S. infections. A growing number of cities and states, including Illinois, on Wednesday announced new mask and vaccine rules and mandates. Kids are heading back to school, and a new survey shows that parents are spending more. A new KPMG survey indicates parents will spend around $270 per child this year when it comes to school-related costs. That's a $20 increase from 2020. In Galena, Kansas, hundreds of parents saved money on school supplies when they stopped by the First Baptist Church of Galena and picked up backpacks filled with back-to-school essentials. The church was able to raise money for 320 fully stocked backpacks that were handed out to families from all over the 4-state area. Backpacks were given out to parents via a drive-through system because of the pandemic. Voters in Columbus, Kansas passed a more than $14 million school bond. That money will go towards renovating Columbus High School, adding 4 new classrooms, and adding safe rooms to the high school and Central Junior High. The Columbus superintendent says when the work is complete, the high school will be a campus for 7th through 12th grades, Highland Elementary will close, and the Central campus will be for 2nd through 6th grades. Work on the high school is expected to be completed by the beginning of the 2022-23 school year, and work at Central should finish by the start of the 2023-24 school year. U.S. Congressman from Missouri Billy Long is vying for a new position. Long, who represents Southwest Missouri, announced he is running for U.S. Senate. Congressman joins a growing list of Republican candidates, including former Governor Eric Greitens and Mark McCloskey, the St. Louis lawyer who pled guilty to waving a gun at protesters last year. They're all looking to fill Senator Roy Blunt's seat. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
Mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures right now ranging from the mid-60s. We do have a couple 70s on the board here pre-sunrise. Sunrise, by the way, at 6:26. But even as we progress through the day, excuse me, clouds are going to keep us from too much of a warm-up here. We'll go low to mid-80s. Wind originally coming in from the south, just 5 to 10 miles per hour. You're going to notice it shift back and forth a little bit. And that's actually a little bit instability that's going to bring us some afternoon showers, and then we'll gradually clear out overnight. Let's talk about that possibility of rain. As we get into the afternoon hours, say in between, I'd say noon and 6 today, so a little more elongated period of time than what we've had past couple of days. It just kind of pops up rather scattered, nothing organized, nor anything severe. And then as we get closer to sunset, we'll be just about done with that. Those clouds stick around until they clear out overnight. Now, we're going to have a warm overnight as well, and you can tell we'll let the sun begin to take effect here on Friday into the weekend. It's going to be rather hot and humid, especially by the time we get into next week. So we'll be back to talking about triple-digit heat indices. Now, the nice thing is our air quality reading for today, about the best it's been in about 3 days. So, I mean, the cloud cover actually does help quite a bit, both temperature and air quality wise. We'll be back with more KOAM morning news. Liam Mandelbaum and I are going to take a trip out to Crawford County Fairgrounds right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. We're out here at the Crawford County Fairgrounds just outside of Girard. Fair's going to run all the way until Sunday, and I tell you what, coming off of what we had last year, we are right now inside the Angels Among Us Cafe and fortunate enough to be joined by the marvelous Jan Alai. Jan, thank you so much for your time, because behind us right now, you've already got a line of people.
Right.
People may be familiar with Angels Among Us. They may be familiar with the wonderful food that you have. Why is this so important to Angels Among Us? What happens at the fair?
We raise money for cancer patients. We're nonprofit. This is actually the 21st year for Angels Among Us. The 14th year at the fair. Should have been the 15th,
right,
with the pandemic. And it's just important because we help so many people. This is our biggest money maker.
And specifically, when Jan talks about helping people that are fighting cancer,
financially,
exactly what do these people benefit from? How does Angels Among Us specifically help these?
We try to help them with gas cards, any finance expenses that they might incur that they can't take without insurance, or even if they have insurance, food, their gas bills, just anything that. And at Christmas time, we really try to help families so they can have a happy Christmas.
And the amazing thing about it is everybody that you see here, they're volunteers. They're doing this out of the goodness of their heart, as all that money helps those cancer patients. Jan, what was it like to not be able to take advantage of the fair last year, and how does it feel to be back? Number one, running the cafe like you do, but number two, knowing that you're helping people out.
Right. You know, we took a big hit last year because our two big events, this is our bigger one. And then at Christmas time, we do a lot of Christmas parties for companies, and we couldn't do those either. So we took a big hit. And, you know, like I said somewhere, the pandemic stopped a lot of things, but it didn't stop cancer. So it's just good that we're back together. It's a wonderful group. We haven't seen some of these people for a year either. So, you know, we have fun. We have some rough times through here, but we're making it, and it's just good to be back. It
has felt like a reunion out here in the Angels Among Us Cafe, renowned for the wonderful fried chicken that they have, and also too, with it heating up this weekend, you're going to want to find a place to cool off. Jan, coming back to the whole pandemic off of last year, I understand that people also have a unique opportunity if they want to take advantage of a vaccine option that's just down the road.
Yes, we made vouchers. If you get your vaccine here out at the fair, the nurses will give you a voucher. They date it, and you can bring it in here for a free meal.
Jan and Eli from the Angels Among Us Cafe. Jan, number one, thank you for your time. Number two, congratulations to you. And remember that every dime that you spend here is ultimately helping cancer patients in need. Because as Jan said, hey, the pandemic may have stopped Angels Among Us for 1 year. As far as the cafe goes, it did not stop cancer. Jan, thank you so much for your time. We're going to come back and talk about vaccines and the opportunity to get them here at the Crawford County Fairgrounds right after this.
One great place.
Hanging in the high 60s for the most part, and what's turning out to be a delightful Thursday morning. Sunrise here at 6:26. Mostly cloudy skies is what we're dealing with right now. We do have a chance for some scattered afternoon rain. Temperatures, though, going to be very delightful, considering we should be around 92 degrees this time of year. We'll go about, say, 83, 84 during the afternoon, and then we'll clear out overnight and eventually get some sunshine on Friday. But let's talk Thursday first. There's that scattered activity that we see picking up really in between, say, about noon, 5, 6 p.m. Should be pushed out of here, though, by sunset. And then we'll clear off and get ready for a little impending heat wave. It's going to take us up into the high 80s, if not 90 on Friday. And then Saturday through Wednesday, that's when we're going to get back to talking about the reemergence of heat advisories, being safe when it's outside. So air quality is pretty good today. So go ahead and take advantage of what's going to be a marvelous Thursday. Be back right after this.
Coming up, the cost of back to school is going up. We'll hear how it's affecting local parents. And the Pittsburgh School District announces COVID-19 protocols as kids gear up to head back. Also, Columbus, Kansas, voters approve a school bond, reaction from officials, and what it means for the district.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Tanya Bach. Get ready for a cooler day with a chance of rain before it heats back up again. Let's go straight to Michael with a look at the forecast.
And even with our heavier cloud cover on this Thursday morning, skies beginning to get just a little bit lighter over the 7th and range line. Intersection has remained quiet for the most part as we sit at a very comfortable 69 degrees. In fact, Chanute still hanging on to the 70-degree mark. 68 in Miami, Pittsburgh, and Nevada. Those 68s in Carthage and Lamar as well. So very, very pleasant start in there. Is the heavier clouds that we've not had for the past couple of days. Been fighting the haze, but actually, finally, all that ash and smoke from the West Coast wildfires moving off to our east. Our air quality going to be much better today than what it has been for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Skywatch Storm Tracker, there's that cutoff low that we've been talking about, beginning to, whenever it makes that kind of closed off circle. That's what that is right there. And then you've got another low pressure system over on the East Coast with a whole bunch of Thursday morning rain activity for them. Now our chances for precipitation is going to be really after the noon hour into about say 5, 6 o'clock, and rather scattered at that. We're not talking about anything organized. Be more of a nuisance if you're trying to get something done outside and you just have to let it pass. Ground's dry enough, it'll soak it right in. Not going to amount to anything. This may be the day to take advantage of anything outside because, like I said, with the cloud cover, the mild temperatures, the air quality much better. We're going to start picking up the heat here by the time we get from Friday all the way into the middle of next week.
All right, well.
Whole bunch of 90s throwing up.
Whew. Yeah, that's going to be a scorcher coming back.
It's going, yeah.
Not that we're not used to it. But I have enjoyed this last week.
Haven't been bad, that's for sure.
Yes, it has. It's been a nice break. I got my yard mowed.
We went, we've gone 84, 84, 84, 85 over the last 4 days. Those have been our highs that drop on regional.
You know what also has enjoyed the cooler temperatures over the last week?
The dogs.
My grass. It doubled in its size.
Yeah, but
it says it's cool, let's grow.
Yeah. And that just means you got to mow more often.
I know. Yeah, I know. It happens. All right, thanks, Michael. The dogs did enjoy it too. Well, kids are heading back to school, and a new survey shows that parents are spending more. A new KPMG survey indicates parents will spend around $270 per child this year when it comes to school-related costs. That's a $20 increase from 2020. Last night in Galena, Kansas, hundreds of parents saved money on school supplies when they stopped by the First Baptist Church of Galena and picked up backpacks filled with back-to-school essentials. The church was able to raise money for 320 fully stocked backpacks that were handed out to families from all over the four-state area. Organizers say the event is in its third year and is even more popular in 2021 with school cost on the rise.
It would cost me anywhere from $65 to $100 per student. And you know, it's even more expensive today than it was when my kids were in school. So, you know, it feels good to be able to lighten the burden on the parents today, especially during this pandemic.
Especially with Corona and everything, it helps. It helps in different ways, but yeah, for like paying bills and stuff.
Backpacks were given out to parents via drive-through system because of the pandemic. Organizers say they're already preparing for next year when they hope to give out at least 500 backpacks. Pittsburgh School District officials unveiled their reopening plan. Pittsburgh schools will start the year with COVID-19 restrictions in place and will require all students, staff, and visitors to wear masks. With the Delta variant of COVID spreading in the area, one Pittsburgh parent says she believes the policy is a move in the right direction.
I feel more at peace about sending my kids to school now. You know, I still have some concerns, but you know, this is a step in the right direction with reopening school for face-to-face learning.
These new restrictions are set to continue until at least October 1st. The school board says they will remain in constant communication with the Crawford County Health Department for guidance on restrictions. The Chanute, Kansas Public School District also releases its plans for dealing with COVID during the coming school year. For starters, the district says masks covering the mouth and nose will be worn at all times by students and staff in any school building. Visitors will not be allowed to participate in lunch. Temperature checks will be required for students and staff as they enter school buildings. And the district will have alternative learning for quarantined students. Voters in Columbus, Kansas Tuesday passed a more than $14 million school bond. That money will go towards renovating Columbus High School, adding 4 new classrooms and adding safe rooms to the high school and Central Junior High. The Columbus superintendent says when the work is complete, the high school will be a campus for 7th through 12th grades. Highland Elementary will close and the Central campus will be for 2nd through 6th grade.
The difference is that Central will have to do the construction while the students are all actually on campus. But what we'll do, we'll be able to do it in phases because the way it's designed, it's almost 3 separate buildings that are attached with hallways.
Work on the high school is expected to be completed by the beginning of the 2022 to 23 school year, and work at Central should finish by the start of the 23 to 24 school year. U.S. Congressman from Missouri Billy Long is vying for a new position. Long, who represents Southwest Missouri, announced he is running for U.S. Senate. The congressman joins a growing list of Republican candidates, including former Governor Eric Greitens and Mark McCloskey, the St. Louis lawyer who pled guilty to waving a gun at protesters last year. They're all looking to fill Senator Roy Blunt's seat. He announced earlier this year he will not seek re-election. A local service dog organization is hosting a poker run fundraiser. Saber Life Foundation was founded by the family of a girl from Pineville, Missouri, who has a debilitating condition and needs a service dog. The foundation helps cover some of the cost of getting a service dog, which can run more than $18,000. So they're raising money through the Pipes for Pups Poker Run, which will run 150 miles through Arkansas and Missouri.
Started with our daughter that she needed a service dog, and so we started fundraising for her at local events in our community selling dog treats. And so once we were meeting so many people that needed a service dog, knew somebody that needed one or had one, we decided at that point that we wanted to pay it forward once we got our daughter's service dog paid for.
Poker Run will be on Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon. There'll be prizes including a raffle for a new Harley-Davidson motorcycle. 607.
Temperatures today going to be in the 80s, mostly cloudy skies. A little bit cooler than what we'd anticipate for this time of year with some scattered afternoon rain. Wait for Friday and the skies are going to clear off. The sun's going to kick in and we've got 90s headed our way for this weekend.
That's a look at this morning top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, proof of vaccinations.
Customers now need more than money to dine at some restaurants. I'm Michelle Medina with a growing number of establishments only serving vaccinated customers.
Plus, the FDA says it's aiming to give full approval to Pfizer's COVID vaccine by early next month as cities and states are heading for a legal showdown over vaccine and mask mandates. And we continue learning about the Angels Among Us Cafe at the Crawford County Fairgrounds. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. In Consumer Watch this morning, New York City will soon start requiring proof of vaccination for indoor dining, some performances, and gyms. But many businesses across the country have already taken this step on their own. Michelle Medina reports.
Customers who want to buy a shot at the Permanent Records Roadhouse Bar in Los Angeles need proof they've received the shot.
The decision was a difficult one to make.
Owner Lance Barisi asks customers to show evidence of a vaccination card or a negative test.
For the protection of our staff and our patrons, we thought this was the best option.
Effervescence in New Orleans has a similar requirement for indoor diners. Unvaccinated customers are welcome to sit outside.
There's a few people who commented on Instagram, negatively, but most people are applauding us.
With COVID-19 cases rising, there's a growing number of bars and restaurants adopting vaccine policies.
Hundreds of establishments in San Francisco now ask for proof of vaccine or negative test. Many owners fear rising infections could lead to another round of shutdowns.
The majority of people barely made it through the first very long and very strict shutdown and reopening process.
The policies have received negative comments.
I think that we're getting maybe 1 or 2 complaints from people who live in San Francisco per day, and then we're getting probably 10 to 15 complaints from people who don't live in California. They don't live anywhere near here.
But many establishments with requirements say they are actually seeing a boost in business.
I want to support establishments that kind of are looking out for the best interests of their patrons and their staff.
Many owners believe only welcoming COVID-free customers will give them a better shot at staying open. Michelle Medina, CBS News, San Diego.
Target presents a new initiative to entice workers. The company says starting this fall, they'll cover tuition, fees, and textbook costs for part-time and full-time employees who pursue a qualifying undergraduate degree at more than 40 institutions. Target says it will also give money for advanced degrees, paying up to $10,000 each year for master's degrees as well. The initiative covers the full cost of over 250 programs, such as computer science, business management, and information technology. The company plans to invest $200 million in the education program over the next 4 years. Why choose between flaming hot Cheetos and ice cream when you can have both? Marble Slab Creamery partners with Frito-Lay's to release a Cheetos Flaming Hot ice cream and shake. Interesting. The ice cream features Marble Slab's classic sweet cream, but with flaming hot Cheeto bits scattered throughout. Folks craving one or all of the company's Flaming Hot concoctions can head to one of its participating locations nationwide. The Texas-based creamery has most of its locations in the Lone Star State and in the Southeast. Marble Slab Creameries will only sell the Cheetos products until September 30th. That's it for Consumer Watch. Let's toss it over to Michael with a look at your forecast. I don't know how I feel about having chips in my ice cream.
And I'm a huge fan of Marble Slab too. I love, but to each their own.
Yeah.
If you can
Spicy, yes, I love that, but I don't know about the crunch of a Cheeto in my
Yeah, I'm good.
ice cream.
Oh, Marble Slab makes great strawberry ice cream. Yeah, I love the strawberry. High temperatures that Tanya and I were talking about for the first 4 days of August right there, sitting at 84 and a quarter. Whoo, cannot beat that. That's what I'm talking about because everybody remembers how we finished off July right there with that string of 95s and 96s. There's a live look outside of 7th and Range Line as the sky's beginning to lighten up just a little bit. Temperatures have been consistent over Joplin at 69 degrees. Chanute still at 70. Let's roll 68 in both Carthage and Miami, and then throw Fort Scott and Nevada in there as well. We do have some heavier cloud cover than what we have had past couple of days. Really nothing on the old radar. There's a little bit of rain trying to move in the far western edge of southeast Kansas, but really Midwest for the most part, very, very quiet. And really the thunderstorm map, not a whole lot of expansion on it as well. Now you will see that, remember, it's not even the marginal area. You get that light green on there. That just means chance for some showers to roll through, and that's exactly what we'll anticipate, say in between noon to 5, 6 o'clock. And it's our ground's so dry, it'll be able to soak it right up. Shouldn't cause any problems if you're working outside and whatnot. And speaking of being outside, today's going to be a great day to do anything because not only are our temperatures mild for this time of year, but also too, that air quality is much better. So there's where we go with those little pop-ups. Come and go, and then they're gone by the time we get into sunset. Look at this. It clears off on Friday, though, and we all headed up the old thermometer. So Friday is going to be probably right on par. Friday and Saturday, that's not too far off for where we'd anticipate being for the 6th and 7th days of August. But then we're going to get hot. We're going to get hot, and we're going to get humid from Sunday all the way to the middle of next week. We'll be back. A trip to the Crawford County Fairgrounds right after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Earlier enough, we caught up with Jan Eli over at the Angels Among Us Cafe. We're here at the Crawford County Fairgrounds, ready for the fair that runs all the way until Sunday. And Jan was talking about a unique opportunity that you can take advantage of when you come out. And that's the fact that if you stop by the particular booth that I'm at right now, you can actually end up with a voucher for the cafe. And that's where we pick up Briley Rooms. Briley, thank you so much for joining us. Briley is a member of the Crawford County Health Department and actually the head of immunizations as far as the county goes. Briley, tell me exactly what you've got going on here at the tent that is just a stone's throw away from the Angels Among Us Cafe.
So we were lucky enough, Jan reached out to us. She said, we would like to give you some vouchers so people get their vaccines. They can come get free chicken. And we were all about that. We thought that was great. It's really great that they wanted to help us, and we are helping the community by getting them vaccinated.
It's a little bit curious because people may think, well, a vaccine, I've got to call my doctor, I've got to make an appointment, I've got to schedule times and places to do everything. But your sign right here simply says all you got to do is come see us.
Yes, all you have to do is walk up. We have Pfizer, so we can vaccinate those 12 and up. We will have you come back in 3 weeks to the health department for the second dose. Quick and easy, maybe takes 5 minutes.
So that was going to be my next question because we all know that we need 2 doses of the vaccine. And so do I leave with a card, a reminder? How does that work? I keep that in the back pocket that I go, oh, I need to come back in 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Yes, so we will give you a card when you leave. We write your return date on the back, and then you just come into the health department, walk in, get your second dose.
And I understand that you have prizes available.
Yes.
You guys are pulling out all the stops. What do you got cooking there?
We have free wristbands for the bouncy house, and we have free wristbands for the rodeo.
So, tell you what, you guys are doing it up right. So, number one, if you come get a vaccine here at the Crawford County Health Department, you're going to walk away with a voucher for the Angels Among Us Cafe. And the prizes include the wristbands to get the kids on the bouncy house and also a wristband to get in the rodeo. Briley Rooms. Briley, I want to thank you so much for your time. Thank you for everything that you're doing here for Crawford County. Remember, Crawford County Fairgrounds right out here outside Girard runs all the way until Sunday, and we'll have more KOAM Morning News for you when we return right after this.
Topping Healthwatch this morning, the FDA says it's aiming to give full approval to Pfizer's COVID vaccine by early next month as the new surge ramps up. Jonathan Suri has more from Atlanta.
The numbers keep ticking up. The U.S. now averaging more than 84,000 new COVID cases every day, up 45% from last week, and the highest number since February. As the new surge accelerates, more cities and states are imposing COVID restrictions, including New York City, which will require proof of vaccination for most indoor activities. And the vaccination push could soon be getting a big boost. The FDA announcing they're aiming to give full approval to Pfizer's vaccine by early next month.
You have over 300 million doses of mRNA vaccines given in the United States alone. The FDA has said they're already accelerating the Pfizer vaccine. Now it looks like they're putting it on a fast track. Across the country, transmission rates are up. We're seeing the biggest spikes in Florida and Texas, which now account for 1 out of every 3 new COVID cases. President Biden ramping up pressure on governors who are refusing new containment measures, including mask mandates.
I say to these governors, please help. But if you aren't going to help, at least get out of the way of the people who are trying to do the right thing.
But at least 9 governors are banning local officials from requiring masks. And some are also considering bans on businesses mandating vaccinations for returning workers.
We could have
counties and cities all doing their thing and different standards, and that would be confusing. It would be bad for business.
We're also seeing a major spike among children and teens, with cases up 84% in just the past week. Health officials investigate an E. coli outbreak they've linked to cake mix. Centers for Disease Control says a strain of E. coli, a bacterial contamination, has been found in cake mix. The 0121 strain of E. coli dates back to February, and as of last week, 16 people have been infected. Ages range from 2 to 73. And all were female. 7 people infected with the strain have been hospitalized, but no deaths have been reported. Symptoms can be fever, diarrhea, vomiting, dehydration, and dizziness. CDC is investigating and has not yet tied the outbreak to a specific common brand mix or facility. No recalls have been issued. The bigger the city, the lower the risk of depression. And that's according to one new study. Americans living in larger U.S. cities like New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago have lower rates of depression than those living in smaller cities. For this study, researchers analyzed data from government surveys and ultimately found the rate of depression was higher in smaller cities. Hustle and bustle of larger urban areas has often been thought to drag people down, but researchers now believe it could actually help people's mental health, promoting more social interactions and innovation. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Big factor for today. We've been harping on the air quality and how poor it's been because of the wildfires out to the west, and mostly cloudy. And there's still a little bit of lingering haze. But if you do have COPD or asthma, I want to let you know that the quality is much, much better today than what we had earlier this week. Temperatures are going to be in the low 80s. You'll see the 3 o'clock panel indicating that we are anticipating some rain of the scattered variety to roll through, clear out the skies overnight, and then we'll get ready for some heat. Let's talk about that rain though really quick. Throw the umbrella in the car, and here we go. Like I said, it's certainly not organized nor serious, and we don't even see any yellow or orange pop up there, so it's not going to rain too hard, and the ground dry enough right now it'll be able to quickly to absorb anything. And then as we push toward sunset, we just pretty much clear everything off, and then we'll be prepared for the heat come the weekend. A string of 90s going to last us all the way into next week. And of course, you can find the latest on the Skywatch weather app.
Coming up, the cost of back to school is going up. We'll hear how it's affecting local parents. And the Pittsburgh School District announces COVID-19 protocols as kids gear up to head back. And Columbus, Kansas voters approve a school bond, reaction from officials and what it means for the district.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:30. I'm Tanya Bach. We've got a cloudy day ahead with cooler temps. Looking forward to that and a chance of rain. Let's take a look at the forecast with Michael.
All in all, it won't be a bad Thursday because the temperatures are going to be very, very mild. And even that rain, our ground's going to be able to soak it up like that. And it's not going to be anything severe nor last too long. Still looking for a peek of some sunshine or some blue skies. Just going to take a little bit. That is over 7th and Rangeline, where we've been a consistent 69 degrees. Humidity at 84%. That is not bad for this time of the morning. It's absolutely delightful out if you want to get out, do something early, because our air quality much, much better than what we've had past couple of days. 70 in Chanute, 68s in Miami and Anderson. Let's roll 69 in Lamar and Nevada. There is the cloud cover. We are picking up just a little bit of rain here, far western edge of southeast Kansas, but that's not going to organize into anything big. Most everybody else is going to have to wait till the afternoon hours. Big cutoff low on the left side of your screen. That's why the circular motion comes from the mid-level jet stream, along with some thunderstorm activity off the east coast as well. Our weather trend is going to be mostly cloudy today, so not bad though. Sun won't have a chance to really beat down on us. Here's that rain we were talking about, say between noon, 6 p.m. and I mean, we're talking about scattered and don't see any yellow or orange pop up there. It'll be done by sunset. And then we can lock in, get ready for the increased heat because the 90s are going to reemerge. I think we'll see some 90s tomorrow. I had to average it out and go 88 is kind of the average 4-state high. We'll see some 90s pop up to the south tomorrow. and then watch that heat expand for Saturday and Sunday.
Well, get used to the heat because it's still summertime.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, the average high for the first 4 days of August, 84.25. That's ridiculously low.
Yeah. Especially when July ended up so much higher than that, average-wise.
Yep. Funny thing is, though, the average high temperature for July was 88.
Yeah, because it started off so
right.
cool.
It started off so mild.
Same
It was really just the last 9 days.
Yeah.
We become prisoners of the moment. We have what I refer to as recent history bias. What?
I love that. Prisoners of the moment.
And recent history bias. Those are two specific things that weather-wise we have a tendency to lock into.
Okay. All right.
No, I wasn't saying that tongue-in-cheek. I was serious.
I feel like we're like writing a song with these.
I was thinking more of
phrases.
like a psychological book about the way people remember weather. But I mean, if you want to go song, I can do that too.
It's all a song and dance. We just follow the ebb and flow.
Dog and pony show.
All right. Thanks, Michael. Well, kids are heading back to school, and a new survey shows that parents are spending more. A new KPMG survey indicates parents will spend around $270 per child this year when it comes to school-related costs. That's a $20 increase from 2020. Last night in Galena, Kansas, hundreds of parents saved money on school supplies when they stopped by the First Baptist Church of Galena and picked up backpacks filled with back-to-school essentials. The church was able to raise money for 320 fully stocked backpacks that were handed out to families from all over the four-state area. Organizers say the event is in its third year and is in even more popular in 2021 with school cost on the rise.
It would cost me anywhere from $65 to $100 per student. And, you know, it's even more expensive today than it was when my kids were in school. So, you know, it feels good to be able to lighten the burden on the parents today, especially during this pandemic.
Especially with Corona and everything, it helps. It helps in different ways, but yeah, for like paying bills and stuff.
Backpacks were given out to parents via drive-through system because of the pandemic. Organizers say they're already preparing for next year when they hope to give out at least 500 backpacks. Pittsburgh School Board releases plans for the coming school year, which includes a mask requirement. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky spoke with the superintendent of schools and a parent about what we can expect.
As kids gear up to go back to school, virus concerns remain, which is why the Pittsburgh School Board made the decision to start the school year with COVID restrictions, requiring masks for students, staff, and visitors.
The masks, social distancing, making sure that we keep up with our sanitation procedures.
Pittsburgh Superintendent Richard Proffitt says this new guidance stems from increased cases in the area, along with the Delta variant, which seems to be infecting the younger population.
Anytime that you hear that a new variant could infect younger populations, and that is the population that we deal with the most and that is under our care on a daily basis, we're certainly going to set up and really take notice of it and be very vigilant in the mitigation strategies that we're going to use.
And this decision is putting Pittsburgh parents like India Hatton at ease.
This is a step in the right direction with reopening school for face-to-face learning.
Hatton has 2 children in the Pittsburgh school system and says she was worried about sending them back to in-person learning amid the current spread of COVID-19.
Having a lot of anxiety about sending my kids back.
Proffitt adds that they also have strategies for keeping kids safe while eating.
There are going to be some times where we're going to have the kids eat in their classrooms to be able to spread out. It's an unmasked time. We have some partitions that will go between students that they can see through, communicate, but doesn't allow the airborne variant to get from one person to another.
And when it comes to sports, things get a bit tricky.
It just depends. If you're on an outside sport, it's a little bit different outside. We will take the masks off when we're outside. When we're on the inside, when you're in the middle of a physically exerting activity, we're probably not going to require the mask, but everybody really needs to understand and know that there could be a risk.
The school board plans to keep these in place as long as needed to keep their students and staff safe. In Pittsburgh, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
School superintendent says more information about the upcoming school year will be available on their website. Voters in Columbus, Kansas Tuesday passed a more than $14 million school bond. That money will go towards renovating Columbus High School, adding 4 new classrooms, and adding safe rooms to the high school and Central Junior High. Columbus superintendent says when the work is complete, the high school will be a campus for 7th through 12th grades. Highland Elementary will close, and the Central campus will be for 2nd through 6th grades.
The difference is that Central will have to do the construction while the students are all actually on campus. But what we'll do, we'll be able to do it in phases because the way it's designed, it's almost 3 separate buildings that are attached with hallways.
Work on the high school is expected to be complete by the beginning of the 22 to 23 school year. Work at Central should finish by the start of the 23 to 24 school year. That's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News, evacuation orders.
Wildfires are raging out of control across the West. I'm Bradley Blackburn with images from one California town that was destroyed by flames.
Plus, for our Something to Talk About, we're asking, where do you prefer to work from? We let you weigh in. But first, it's 6:37.
Mine, the Skywatch Weather Center is where I prefer. Thursday's high 84, scattered rain. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Look at the heat on its way. We'll be back with Nation Watch next.
Topping Nation Watch this morning. In California, wildfires are forcing thousands of people to evacuate their homes as hot, dry conditions fan the flames. And the largest fire in the state has destroyed a small town. Bradley Blackburn reports.
The Dixie Fire is raging out of control in Northern California. 40-mile-per-hour winds sent white-hot flames shooting up trees, the fire burning out vehicles and homes as firefighters try to stop it. Last night, it tore through downtown Greenville, leaving apocalyptic scenes in every direction. An entire community completely wiped out.
You need to make sure that you're minding those mandatory evacuations. You need to get out.
Thousands of people in the area are under evacuation orders as the 3-week-old fire continues to spread.
All of a sudden, the sheriff showed up and they were like, get out now. You know?
Denise Clark lost her home in the nearby river fire, her dog and everything she has now in her car.
As soon as we left, we saw fire everywhere. I mean, we literally pretty much drove through it.
Hot, dry conditions are fueling the flames and challenging firefighters across the West. Crews using helicopters and creating fire breaks to save what they can. Evacuee Dr. Glenn Bonnies thanks them.
It's truly amazing to watch them work with the helicopters and the Boré bombers and everything. It's amazing.
20,000 firefighters are now battling dozens of wildfires in 13 states. It's on track to be the worst fire season ever.
580,000 acres have burned. Put that in perspective. Last year was about 260,000 acres. So more than double the acres burned so far year to date. And we're just we're getting started.
A dangerous situation that is only getting worse. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
CBS News has learned that some New York lawmakers, including fellow Democrats, are ready to start the process of impeaching Governor Andrew Cuomo. The New York governor is accused in a state attorney general's report of sexually harassing at least 11 women, including staffers and a state trooper. That's a look at today's top national stories. Let's check back in with Michael for our Something to Talk About.
Thank you, Tanya. On the KOAM News Now Facebook page and our morning Insta poll, the coronavirus pandemic paving the way for more remote work opportunities. Americans who have grown to prefer working from home are in luck as those remote opportunities have increased some 1,000% in 2021, growing from just 7,000 listings in March of last year to more than 80,000 now. That's according to career search website Ladders Incorporated, that says industries that added the most remote opportunities included marketing, media and design, program management, accounting, and human resources. Our question for you this morning, where do you prefer to work from? And it's been pretty close, in fact, back and forth a little bit. But right now, 40% say remote, 54% say, nah, I won't be in the old office. Only 6%. I found this unusual. Only 6%. Like the old hybrid method of perhaps going back and forth during the course of the week. You can let us know what you think each and every morning simply by going to KOAMnewsnow.com/vote or connecting to us via our KOAM News Now Facebook page. We'll be back and celebrate birthdays and anniversaries next.
We take this time to honor today's four-state hero, Sergeant Mark Widener, who served in the United States Army in Iraq with the 891st Engineer Battalion. His hometown, Girard, Kansas. We are proud to salute Mark Widener, our four-state hero.
Started here. You know, Tanya, yesterday, and you had some much-deserved vacation. We didn't have any single digits.
What?
Yeah, I know. So luckily, we got Canyon Cullum, who's starting us off right here. Canyon, he's celebrating number 4 in the OSHA. Kiddo, this comes with love from Nana and Papa.
All right, well, we've got another single digit here. Caden Westoff is 7 strong in St. Paul. And actually should have been on the birthday list yesterday, so we would have had one.
We would have had one. But
we're going to celebrate today, too.
Look at this dude. He's 12. Man, I'll tell you what. We had that year, that year that we had William, you know, he's the same age as Kale. William, congratulations, my man. It's been a pleasure to watch you grow up. You're a fine, young, upstanding young man is what you are now as you celebrate your 12th. Have a great day, buddy.
All right. Danielle Nadine turning 22 years old this year in Devon, Kansas. We've got birthday wishes going out to Danielle from her friends at Tri-State Truck Center.
There's a milestone for Miss Brandy Rush. Brandy celebrating number 40. Happy birthday, Brandy in Jasper.
And we've got Sherry Downing celebrating the Big 5-0 this year. Sherry is in Carthage.
David Smedley, turning 55. Wonderful picture right there. David, a happy birthday to you. He's in Thayer. And this dude, I get to say this dude. So hold on. I got a quick one about Mr. Morris. I know it sounds weird. I still call him Coach. I call him Coach. First off, for those of you that may see him out and about, you wish him a happy birthday. But anyway, my son, he keeps on telling me one year about his favorite teacher, Mr. Morris, who's the art teacher. I didn't think, I wasn't familiar with Mr. Morris. Of course, I know Troy. I know Troy since back in my sports days because he was a coach. Walk into the school one day, and I put 2 and 2 together as I see Troy in the art room. And I go, Coach, you're the infamous Mr. Morris, who's Kale's favorite teacher. He started laughing. I said, forgive me. I call you Coach. He calls you Mr. Morris. He's marvelous, absolutely marvelous dude. Happy birthday, Troy. The Big 5-5.
All right, turning 59 this year. It's time to celebrate for Dan O'Brien. Dan is in St. Paul.
Dana Storm is celebrating her 61st birthday. Dana is in Jasper, and Dana, very happy birthday to you.
In Chanute, Stephen Riddle turning double 6s this year. Happy 66, Stephen.
Jerry Brumbaugh, I want you to know that these birthday wishes come with a, excuse me, there's
one.
Bonnie Wells.
There you go.
Bonnie, I wouldn't believe you. That's a cool looking car right there. What we got? I wonder what that is. Happy 80th birthday to Miss Bonnie. And then Jerry Brumbaugh with birthday wishes from the entire family right there as Jerry celebrates 91 in Pittsburgh. And then, look at that, her escort for, I'm going to guess, a wedding, Kent, turning 61, and that is Jerry's son. So what a marvelous, marvelous birthday celebration for the Brumbaughs. And once again, both Jerry and Kent, that comes with happy birthday wishes from the entire family.
All right, here's a 54th anniversary wishes going out to Fred and Nancy Garzone. The Garzones, of course, are in Pittsburgh. Congratulations to them.
Congratulations, Fred and Nancy. They raised some good kids. It turned out all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fred and Nancy, marvelous, marvelous people. Carl Duvall, a very happy birthday in Miami. Jenny Stallings celebrating birthday number 68. We want to make sure that we celebrated Jenny's birthday. I bet she had a party yesterday as well. Jenny's in Joplin. And Lloyd and Frances Marsh, look at this. They are celebrating their 70th anniversary. Congratulations, Lloyd and Frances. They will commence to party in Fulton. Hey, happy birthday and happy anniversary to all. Here's where you can send them into birthdays at KOAMTV.com. You can also find it on our website by going to KOAMNewsNow.com. Now, here's Tanya Bach with a very important birthday announcement.
That's right. You can be a part of the KOAM Birthday Club. Go to our website and sign up, and once you do, you'll get special deals from local businesses. Go to KOAMNewsNow.com and sign up for the KOAM Birthday Club today.
And I'm on.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. The CDC warns of possibly more than 2 million new COVID-19 cases over the next month. It also says the Delta variant now accounts for 93% of all new U.S. infections. A growing number of cities and states, including Illinois, on Wednesday are announcing new mask and vaccine rules and mandates. Kids are heading back to school, and a new survey shows parents are spending more. A new KPMG survey indicates parents will spend around $270 per child this year when it comes to school-related costs. And that's a $20 increase from 2020. In Galena, Kansas, hundreds of parents saved money on school supplies when they stopped by the First Baptist Church of Galena and picked up backpacks filled with back-to-school essentials. The church was able to raise money for 320 fully stocked backpacks that were handed out to families from all over the four-state area. Backpacks were given out to parents via a drive-through system because of the pandemic. Voters in Columbus, Kansas passed a more than $14 million school bond. That money will go towards renovating Columbus High School, adding 4 new classrooms and adding safe rooms to the high school and Central Junior High. The Columbus superintendent says when the work is complete, the high school will be a campus for 7th through 12th grades. Highland Elementary will close, and the Central Campus will be for 2nd through 6th grades. Work on the high school is expected to be completed by the beginning of the 2022 to 23 school year, and work at Central should finish by the start of the 23 to 24 school year. U.S. Congressman from Missouri Billy Long is vying for a new position. Long, who represents Southwest Missouri, announced he is running for U.S. Senate. The Congressman joins a growing list of Republican candidates, including former Governor Eric Greitens and Mark McCloskey, the St. Louis lawyer who pled guilty to waving a gun at protesters last year. They're all looking to fill Senator Roy Blunt's seat. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
Mostly cloudy start with temperatures right now in the high 60s, eventually making it up into the low to mid 80s. Any shot for rain that we do see? It's going to bebop through here between about noon and 5 o'clock, and it's certainly nothing to worry about. Our ground's dry enough. It'll gulp it right up. It might be a really nice day to get some stuff done outside, even if you got to wait a little bit for the rain to roll through, because not only is it mild temperatures, but our air quality much, much better today than what we've had past couple of days.
All right, well, it's going to be hot. Prepare yourself. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making pesto pork medallions in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Of course, your morning news continues on KOAM. Got the CBS Morning News. That's coming up next.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues.
We're going to break down that cutoff, excuse me, I don't know why I said closed off. That cutoff low there on the West Coast, update the severe thunderstorm risk map, and we may even take a trip down to the tropics. It's been really quiet this year. When's the last time you remember us even talking about a tropical storm?
It's been a minute. Hey, and how about we head out to the fair?
I can do that. You know who I haven't seen in a while?
Who's that?
Jan Eli and also Briley Rooms. I haven't seen them in forever. I would love to talk to them over on Fox 14.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, hey, get outside, enjoy some fresh air. Do me a favor. Be safe. We'll do this all again tomorrow morning.
And we'll do it again today at noon.
Experience